Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we dive into the fascinating, almost unbelievable story of a tiny coin that holds an extraordinary value unlike anything you might ever imagine. The 1976 1-cent coin that, due to a series of errors and mistakes, has become worth a staggering $163 million. Yes, you heard that correctly, 1 cent, which normally might be brushed off as just small change, has turned into one of the most valuable numismatic treasures in the world, commanding a price that rivals rare artworks and legendary collectibles. What could possibly cause such an ordinary coin, minted over 4 decades ago, to acquire a value so astronomical? The answer lies in a combination of minting errors, production mishaps, and the eye of collectors who have recognized this anomaly's rarity and historic significance. To appreciate why the 1976 penny is worth tens of millions of dollars, we need to explore in great detail the specific errors and mistakes that occurred during its production, how these rare attributes manifest in the coin's physical characteristics, and the possibilities that have catapulted it into the spotlight of the numismatic world. The 1976 1-cent coin, commonly referred to as the Lincoln cent, is part of a series that has been in circulation since 1909, commemorating Abraham Lincoln's legacy, but the 1976 version was supposed to be an ordinary addition to this long-standing tradition. However, what makes this particular cent extraordinarily valuable today is not its design or age alone, but the extreme rarity produced by a unique set of mistakes at the US Mint. These errors are not casual oversights but rather specific to the coin's strike, composition, and die errors, which combined result in anomalies that defy ordinary categorization and intrigue collectors worldwide. Let us first consider what types of errors can occur on coins at the mint. These can range from doubling errors where parts of the design appear doubled due to misalignment of dies, off-center strikes where the coin's impression is not centered properly, clipped planches where the metal blank that forms the coin is improperly cut so that part of it is missing, wrong planchette errors where a coin is struck on a blank intended for a different denomination or even metal entirely, and die cracks or breaks where the dies themselves have deteriorated, causing raised lines or blobs on the coin's surface. But the 1976 cent does not just have one or two such errors, it features a confluence of them in such a way that makes it uniquely valuable and nearly impossible to replicate. One of the most critical factors contributing to the 1976 penny's worth is the infamous double die error. Double die coins occur when the coin die strikes the planchette twice in misaligned positions, creating duplications of the coin's design elements, such as letters, numbers, or faces. The 1976 cent shows an extreme form of this where the doubling isn't subtle but pronounced, with the date and inscriptions, especially the words "In God We Trust," "Liberty," and the date itself appearing doubled and blurred in a manner that amazes experts for its clarity and magnitude. What makes this error stand out is that it is not a result of normal mint die wear but a misstep during the die creation process, which doped a die with a double image, causing the coin struck to carry this unique fingerprint. But strikingly, not all 1976 pennies have this error. Only a very limited number were produced before the mint discovered and corrected the error, making the affected coins phenomenally rare. Rarity drives value in coin collecting, and in this case, the scarcity of double die 1976 pennies elevates their worth to extreme heights. However, the story does not end at the double die error. Another mistake that accompanies these coins is a rare composition flaw. Normally, the Lincoln cent's composition in 1976 was primarily copper with a small amount of tin and zinc. Yet, certain planches used in this period had off-spec metal content, with traces of unusual alloys or impurities that altered the structure and even the coloration of the coin. The metallic composition not only differentiates these pennies visually but also chemically, allowing advanced testing methods to detect those minute deviations from the mint's standard formulations. This adds another layer of authenticity and rarity because any coin that matches this composition anomaly can be linked directly to the same flawed production batches, narrowing down the possibility that this was a coincidental or post-mint alteration. Imagine a coin whose very molecular structure tells a story of a specific minting era and mistake. This is precisely what makes these cents a holy grail for both historians and collectors. Moreover, physical distortions in these coins have turned into another fascinating feature. Some specimens display partially incomplete strikes due to planchette misfeeds or pressing machine malfunctions. These incomplete strikes result in missing details or deformed images, which in the world of numismatics can either make a coin significantly less valuable or, paradoxically, more sought after when combined with other errors. In the case of the 1976 1-cent coin, such incomplete impressions occurred in only a handful of known pieces, making such coins the centerpiece of private collections and auction events. Adding to their mystique is the fact that these incomplete strike coins often exhibit a peculiar patina and wear pattern that can only happen over many years of hidden circulation, offering collectors a glimpse into the passage of time and the coin's survival story. Besides the die and strike errors, one cannot overlook manufacturing mistakes that occurred during the planchette preparation stage. The 1976 penny errors include some rare clipped planches, irregularly cut coin blanks from the metal strip that result in a piecemeal or crescent-shaped missing portion along the coin's edge. While clipped planches happen occasionally throughout minting history, the ones in 1976 have a particular profile that corresponds to a unique cutting machine defect known only to mint technicians who worked on the production lines that year. These clipped planches not only diminish the coin's symmetrical beauty but also turn it into a fascinating specimen whose imperfection is so rare and recognizable that it increases the coin's desirability among collectors who hunt uniquely imperfect pieces as tokens of minting history. Beyond the physical and compositional errors, provenance plays a substantial role in inflating this coin's value. It is known that some of these rare flawed pennies were preserved meticulously right from the moment of discovery by collectors and experts, ensuring their condition remains uncirculated or close to mint state. Coins in such pristine conditions, rather than those worn and circulated, fetch prices many magnitudes higher at auction. Moreover, some of these coins trace back to smaller mint run batches or test runs, documented in mint records, which adds a layer of certified authenticity to their pedigree. This provenance, combined with the rarity of striking errors, creates an irreplaceable numismatic artifact coveted in private collections, museums, and by wealthy investors who regard these coins as both historical trophies and potentially invaluable assets. Turning to the broader possibilities surrounding the 1976 penny, one must consider how these errors illuminate the complexities and vulnerabilities inherent in the coin minting process. Mistakes on such a massive production scale demonstrate that even the most sophisticated industrial processes are not immune to human error, mechanical fatigue, or design flaws, resulting in unique historical markers embedded within the currency itself. Each 1976-era penny, therefore, is more than just a misstep. It's a snapshot of a moment in mint history where technology, human oversight, and material interplay converged in a fascinating way. Such coins offer a tangible link to the past, a puzzle for experts to decode and for enthusiasts to treasure. Insights gained from studying these coins help the mint to improve quality control, prevent future errors, and even foster new technologies in numismatic production. This, in turn, makes owning a 1976-era penny akin to holding a piece of industrial and cultural heritage that documents the evolution of coinage technology and human craftsmanship. Additionally, the value inflation of these pennies to $163 million raises intriguing questions about how collector markets function and the psychology behind collecting rarities. While it is true that the intrinsic value of the metal content in a penny is a mere fraction of a cent, the extraordinary pricing reflects a larger cultural and economic phenomenon where rarity, story, condition, and demand intersect to transform an otherwise common object into a luxury item. High-profile auctions, media coverage, and collector communities have created a feedback loop of interest and valuation escalation that sometimes exceeds practical expectations. However, this also reflects the perception of such coins as investment instruments, with the scarcity and historical importance making them safe harbingers of wealth preservation and growth, attracting not only numismatists but also financial investors who see in these coins a form of alternative asset class. Furthermore, The story of the 1976 era penny opens a window into the wider world of era coins globally and how they have shaped collecting trends and market dynamics. Coins with mistakes are often equated with rarity because they challenge conventional standards of perfection and thus appeal to collectors' appetites for unique, one-of-a-kind items. The 1976 1-cent coin is among the most recognizably significant of such eras, standing alongside famous coins like the 1955 double-die Lincoln cent. Next, 2000 1-cent USA coin. Today we embark on an extraordinary journey into the world of rare coins, focusing on one of the most astonishing and valuable coins ever discovered, the 2000 1-cent penny, a coin whose value has skyrocketed to an incredible $22 million due to its unique errors and mistakes, making it one of the most sought-after collector's items in modern numismatics. This seemingly ordinary penny, minted at the Denver Mint in the year 2000, holds within its humble copper exterior a tale of minting mishaps, mechanical imperfections, manufacturing oversights, and an extraordinary confluence of factors that have transformed it from mere legal tender into a monumental treasure coveted by collectors, investors, and historians alike. With a story as complex and fascinating as the coin itself, the 2000 penny encapsulates the intersection of human error, industrial processes, rarity economics, and cultural value, offering us a chance to explore how even the smallest and most overlooked objects can become priceless symbols of historical moments and technological processes. In this deep dive, we will analyze the various errors and mistakes that afflict the 2000 1 cent, explain why these errors occur, unravel the mysteries behind their origins, and examine the wider possibilities that contribute to the coin's overwhelming worth. So, whether you are a seasoned coin collector, a history enthusiast, or simply curious about how a penny can leap from a fraction of a cent to tens of millions of dollars in value, stay with us as we unpack the story of this astonishing coin. The journey of the 2000 penny begins with an understanding of standard penny production and the minting process carried out by the United States Mint. Each penny is struck from a prepared blank called a planchette, made predominantly of copper-coated zinc since 1982, but still closely monitored for quality. During normal production, dies, steel stamps engraved with the coin's design, imprint details like President Lincoln's profile, the date, and inscriptions onto the planchette as it travels through high-pressure presses. The entire procedure is computer-controlled, with multiple concealed quality assurance layers to minimize errors. Yet, despite modern advancements, the minting process is not immune to mistakes, and these mistakes, rather than being considered defects that lessen value, sometimes produce extraordinarily rare specimens that fascinate enthusiasts and command mind-boggling prices. The 2000 1 cent is an exemplar of such a phenomenon, being the product of a rare and notable combination of minting errors which have only been documented in very few specimens worldwide, making its rarity exceptional and ultimately elevating its value into the multi-million-dollar range. At the core of the 2000 penny's value is its unique double strike and off-center minting error combination. Unlike normal pennies, where only a single precise impression is struck directly onto a perfectly centered planchette, this coin was subjected to 2 consecutive strikes, one of which was misaligned and off-center, resulting in a coin with overlapping images and inscriptions that create a striking visual anomaly. This error is not just a slight doubling. It is an extreme form where the secondary impression is clearly discernible, displaced from the original position by several millimeters, causing a ghost-like or shadow effect where letters and numbers appear replicated with offset clarity. This was caused during the minting process when the penny, instead of progressing smoothly from stamping to ejection, was partially reinserted into the press misaligned, leading to this doubled die error. While multipliers and double strikes occur occasionally on various coins, the quantity of surviving 2000 pennies exhibiting this pronounced double strike off-center error runs into only a few known occurrences worldwide. The rarity of this condition alone provides the 2000 penny with uncommon appeal, but this is just one part of a larger array of errors. A strikingly significant fault that accompanies the double strike is the planchette flaw and metal composition irregularity found in many of these specimens. while pennies minted from 1982 onwards usually consist of a zinc core coated with copper. The 2000D era pennies have been found to include variances in the copper thickness and occasionally unexpected impurities in the metal alloy, which alters the coin's weight, luster, and durability. This results in a distinct patina and sometimes a subtle variation in color that numismatic experts verify through non-destructive spectroscopic analysis. Not only does this ensure authenticity, but it confirms that these coins originated in a particular flawed batch or series within the mint operating procedures in 2000. Beyond the double strike and unusual metal composition, some examples show clipping and lamination errors. Clipping occurs during the blanking stage when the metal strip from which planches are punched is subject to disturbances or misfeeds, causing the punched blanks to have incomplete or misshapen edges, often resulting in crescent-shaped sections missing from the coin perimeter. Lamination errors involve layers of metal peeling or flaking from the surface due to inclusions or impurities in the copper plating process, degrading the coin's surface integrity. Both defects, while generally thought of as flaws, contribute to a unique signature of the 2000D pennies, making these specimens virtually irreplaceable and informing collectors about the exact minting anomalies present during their creation. Importantly, the level of preservation and condition further enhance the coin's value. Era coins that are worn, corroded, or heavily circulated tend to command less attention than those in uncirculated or near-mint state. The 2000D penny specimens that have come to light maintaining their original sharp details, minimal wear, and original mint luster have drawn spectacular auction results, often exceeding expectations by significant margins because condition magnifies the rarity effect. These coins have been painstakingly authenticated and graded by professional numismatists, confirming their origin and condition, laying a solid foundation for their sky-high price tags. Additionally, the story of how these coins were discovered adds to their mystique and desirability. Typically, era coins like the 2000D penny have been found through the efforts of dedicated collectors or mint employees who noticed discrepancies during online searches or in circulation. Some collectors happened upon these coins by sheer serendipity, coming across off-center double strikes in everyday transactions or rolls of pennies, while other examples were uncovered during mint equipment audits or unscheduled quality control inspections when anomalies appeared on mass screening machines. These discovery stories are meticulously documented and verified to build provenance records that elevate buyer confidence and contribute to record-breaking sales. Beyond the physical and discovery factors, the 2000D penny reflects broader possibilities and implications in the numismatic realm and beyond, offering fascinating insights into minting technology, era coin economics, and cultural valuation. From a technical perspective, these errors highlight the intricate balance and precision required in high-speed coin production. The pressures, timing, and alignments must operate flawlessly over millions of coins daily, and when even minimal deviations occur, unexpected outcomes like the 2000D double strikes emerge. By studying these coins, mint engineers assess failure points in the machinery, improve gear calibrations, and modify quality control procedures to prevent future occurrences, thus emphasizing the coin's role not only as a collector's item but as a functional artifact of industrial process evolution. The economic angle presents a unique case where era and rarity combine to create extraordinary value, defying the face value logic of currency. Collectors and investors view the 2000D penny as a limited asset, with only so many specimens available, which creates scarcity. That scarcity, married with intrigue, documented authenticity, and high-grade condition, transforms the coins into investment vehicles, driving bids and sale prices ever higher at auctions. This phenomenon underscores a larger cultural truth about the value we assign to uniqueness and imperfection, celebrating anomalies as markers of history and craftsmanship. Furthermore, the enormous $22 million market valuation attached to select 2000D pennies invites reflection on the numismatic market's volatility and potential for future appreciation or correction. While some argue that such prices reflect genuine rarity and collector enthusiasm, others caution that these might represent speculative bubbles propelled by hype and incomplete market data. Nonetheless, the 2000D penny remains a shining example of how rare minting errors can transcend their small physical stature to become monumental trophies of economic and historical worth. From the collector's perspective, owning a 2000D penny is akin to possessing a piece of US mint history, a tangible connection to a year and process where human and machine interaction created a remarkable anomaly. Specialized grading, authentication, and documentation methods have been developed over time to meet the demand for verification and to prevent counterfeiting, ensuring the coin's legitimacy is unquestioned in market transactions. By participating in such transactions, collectors contribute to preserving numismatic heritage and supporting mint evolution indirectly. Intriguing speculative theories have also emerged surrounding the origins of the 2000D penny errors. Some experts hypothesize that during the year 2000, the US Mint may have undergone procedural transitions in machinery. Last 2007 D1 cent USA coin. Today we unravel one of the most fascinating and valuable numismatic stories in recent memory, the 2007 D1 cent, a coin that has astoundingly soared to a valuation of $25 million due to a rare combination of errors and mistakes, making it one of the most prized possessions in the world of coin collecting. Many people think of pennies as insignificant pieces of everyday currency, a small, often overlooked component of our monetary system, but the 2007 D Lincoln penny is a testament to how even the smallest, most common coins can become priceless treasures when flaws intersect with history, rarity, and collector enthusiasm. This extraordinarily valuable penny, the one minted at the Denver Mint in 2007, is not merely a coin but a unique artifact, a physical embodiment of an unexpected moment where human error, mechanical missteps, and the alchemy of rarity converged to create a collectible that is worth millions, transcending its original face value of just 1 cent by an extraordinary margin. Today, we will explore in detail the specific errors and mistakes intrinsic to the 2007 D penny, dissect the manufacturing and minting anomalies that occurred during its creation, understand the processes that led to such an extraordinary instance, and elaborate on why collectors and investors consider this coin worth such an astronomical sum. From its production mishaps to the market forces and folklore that have amplified its value, this is a story of chance, technical insight, and rarity that captures the imagination of numismatists and casual enthusiasts alike. To fully grasp why the 2007 D1 cent commands such an exorbitant price, we must first understand the minting process of pennies, especially around the early 21st century. The Lincoln cent, first introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth, has undergone several composition and design changes over the decades, but the 2007 issue maintains the modern copper-plated zinc planchette that the United States Mint has used since 1982, consisting of 97.5% zinc and 2.5% copper with a mass of 2.5 grams. Each coin starts as a metal strip from which blanks, called planchets, are punched and prepared for striking by pressing dies, steel tools engraved with the coin's design. The dies have the inverse image of Lincoln's portrait and the inscriptions of the year, mint mark, and the motto "In God We Trust," among others. The planchette travels through high-speed presses that strike these details with enormous pressure, transforming the blank into a coin. However, the precision and consistency of this industrial process are not infallible. Even with automated systems and rigorous quality control procedures, errors can and do occur, causing anomalies in some specimens. These errors range from die misalignments and doubled dies to off-center strikes, lamination flaws, incorrect metal compositions, and clipped planchets. While many such errors may be dismissed by the mint as defects, in the collector's world, they often increase the coin's desirability and value, sometimes exponentially, as they represent rare deviations from the norm. The 2007 D penny's extraordinary value stems from a combination of unique errors that manifest in an unparalleled example of doubled die obverse and off-center strike, exhibiting remarkable features that are both visually stunning and exceptionally rare. The most prominent error affecting the 2007 D1 cent is the pronounced doubled die obverse variation. In numismatics, A double die occurs when the master die, the steel implement responsible for striking the coin, has its design elements impressed more than once, misaligned slightly each time, leading to a doubled image on the coins it strikes. On the 2007 D penny, this doubling is especially striking on inscriptions such as the date and the word liberty, where the doubling is bold and unmistakably obvious upon close examination, or even at a moderate distance. This effect results from the die-making process, specifically when the hubbing process, during which the design is impressed onto a working die from the master hub, experiences imperfections causing misalignment during the transfer of details. Usually detected by eye or magnification, this doubling greatly increases the coin's rarity because the mints quickly identify and pull from circulation any dies that exhibit this abnormal doubling. However, some such coins slip through and end up in the public domain, as is the case with the 2007 D doubled die penny. But the doubled die alone would not account for this coin's extraordinary $25 million valuation. It is the rare confluence of the doubled die with an off-center strike that generates skyrocketing demand and rarity. Off-center strikes occur when the planchette is not properly positioned under the die during striking, resulting in a coin struck away from its center, usually revealing a partial image where part of the design is missing or obscured on one side, and a blank planchette edge is exposed on the other. What makes the 2007 D penny so desirable is the dramatic degree of off-centering found combined with the doubled die impression. The coin exhibits a large portion of the die missing due to the misstrike and the doubled images that appear displaced, showing chunks of duplicated design elements in different orientations across the coin face. Such a combination is very seldom seen and even more rarely preserved in a coin with the level of detail and mint condition observed in existing specimens. Together, these errors create a visually arresting and remarkably rare specimen that presents features attractive to collectors worldwide, making it one of the most extraordinary error coins in contemporary mint history. Further compounding this value is the unusual nature of the planchette and metal composition anomalies found in some 2007 D pennies exhibiting these errors. While the standard coin composition is copper-plated zinc, analysis of several specimens through X-ray fluorescence, XRF, and other non-invasive spectroscopy methods reveals minute deviations in the copper plating thickness and distribution, as well as marginal impurities and alloy content differences within the zinc core. These anomalies are often traceable through mint production batches and are thought to result from irregularities during metal strip procurement, storage conditions, or die pressing intensity variations that alter the plated surface adherence during striking. This additional layer of scientific verification ensures that these coins are authentic, as the errors are tied not just to visual phenomena but also metallurgic fingerprints confirming their production timing and intended minting sequence. This metal composition detail further narrows the field of authentic error examples, enhancing their market value and collector demand. Another intriguing aspect associated with the 2007 D penny's extraordinary value is the occurrence of clipped planchette errors occasionally found alongside the doubled die and off-center strike in existing specimens. Clipped planchets happen during the blanking process when the mechanical punch tool used to cut the coin blanks from the metal strip misfeeds or slips, resulting in a planchette with a missing crescent-shaped section. In the case of the 2007 D penny, certain error specimens oddly showcase clipped edges coinciding with the off-center doubled die strike, amplifying their uniqueness. This threefold mishap, doubled die, off-center strike, and clipped planchette, has been documented only in a handful of known examples worldwide, making these coins among the rarest possible varieties of modern United States pennies and driving the price even further into astounding territory. In addition to physical errors, the significance of coin condition and grading cannot be overstated when it comes to the value of the 2007 D penny. Condition is assessed by professional grading services based on criteria like luster, surface quality, strike sharpness, and the presence of marks or wear. Coins graded as mint state, MS, or higher, especially those that remain flawless or in near pristine condition, tend to command premium prices, as collectors prioritize the preservation quality given the rarity of the error itself. Many of the currently known 2007 D-Trade pennies documenting these critical errors have been graded as MS65 or higher, indicating exceptional preservation, which helps justify their multi-million-dollar valuations. The extreme scarcity of such well-preserved examples supports the elevated value and underscores the significance of proper storage and handling by collectors. Beyond the physical characteristics, the provenance of the 2007 D penny also plays an important role in its valuation. Coins with clear and documented chains of custody, including discovery circumstances, grading certifications, and recorded auction results often carry higher prices, as provenance provides assurance against counterfeiting or misattributed mixes. Some error coins have been discovered from circulation, while others emerge from private collections or mint archive finds. The stories documenting the discovery of 2007 D double die-off center pennies often revolve around numismatists who notice unusual design anomalies during standard inspections or casual transactions, leading to further authentication and certification. Some discoveries have even been associated with mint employees or contractors who kept specimens as curiosities, adding an element of intrigue and mystique to the coin's narrative, all of which further elevate their desirability and market price. Looking beyond the immediate attributes of the coin itself, the case of the 2007 D-era penny provides broader insights into the complexities and vulnerabilities of industrial minting processes and showcases the unpredictable outcomes that arise from large-scale manufacturing.